Okay, we're back. We've been talking a little bit about this report. We looked at the allergies already, the allergy sensitivities as it relates to food. We're going to continue to work our way down here and see if we can establish and see some trends. One of the biggest things we look at, obviously there is a lot to be said. You are what you eat. And when you have these sensitivities that after the frequencies, such as the almond nuts as an example here, that don't change, that doesn't always mean that there is an allergy. Sometimes it also means that the body just can't break down that. So there might be some type of protein, some type of GI issue going on that we need to look at. We also see here there's some additional issues with vaccines. Now we're able to stimulate that, but these are things that we do look back, because this is general. Vaccine represents just vaccines in general. Could be oral. It could be something that's injectable as well. Amino acids. So now we start to see some reasons why we may not be breaking down some of the proteins like we typically do. Now again, we're trying to remain in this balanced range here, but we see glycine as an example is low, and then we've got two other 2s here, and this one, these were really unchanged. So we would need to look at these issues and further and find out why this is the case. Why is this going on? And then give the body support for the amino acids so that it can, the system can properly, the GI system can be supported. Looking down here, again, we're looking for trends. This did improve, went from a 7 to a 6. That's great. These, not so much. So we state, so these might be more stagnant issues that may need more mineral support or oral support. We're continuing to look down here. We see some bacterial diseases. Now typically when we see these clear out very quickly, and sometimes there's some scary things that come up here. Sometimes they can be genetic as well. And because a system can't determine whether or not it was inherited from in history, we're just looking at very small energy frequencies, and that's where your family lineage comes in. Usually when they clear out right away, it's something that is more or less might have been exposed to, or a type of miasm issue that we need to work to get rid of. We'll continue to go on here through the report. Bacterial diseases. Now this is a good example here in strep. We see that this is an active issue. So the frequency has really been unchanged. So we would need to target that frequency for this bacteria a little bit more. But also we would focus nutraceutical therapy on supporting the body's immune system and find out where the strep is actually impacting the body. Now we'll notice here, now this happens to be we can look at the basic physical quality, look at hydration, hypoxia, slight hypoxia, mental clarity in this case. Now something that came up before is the vaginal tone. Now this is a male, but what we're working on separating those out in the other reports, but what's going to happen is we see that there's probably a hormone issue that's going to be creeping up as a result of some of the female parts that are off there. So obviously I would discount this moving forward. We're going to continue on here looking at the report. The blood lipids. Okay, so we know the LDL. There's an issue with the LDL here. It's not balanced, so we would need to look into that a little bit more. Looking at male function here in body reproductive, we see that the we can also look at the calcification of the prostate as an example, and the reproductive system. Again, looking for these trends of things that are not changing. That's the important issue, and we're looking over this report. We're also going to look at this this page here. Also looks at bone condition. Oftentimes when we see the body pulling calcium off the bone, it could be a parathyroid issue or some other issue that's driving calcium off the bone, and then it deposits it in other areas. So we tend to see some osteoporosis or calcification start to come up. So those are things that we would generally look at. Usually they're mineral based. We're going to continue this video on in a third series. We'll be right back with you.